and welcome to Dukascopy TV. My name is Elizabeth Kietsurayanon, and today alongside me is Luigi Matrone, founder of innovation marketing agency Love Income. Hello, Luigi, and welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
So, could you start by giving us a brief introduction to personal branding and development, and perhaps tell us about its importance today?
Well, the term branding has often been relegated only to companies, but in fact today every individual, every person has a personal brand. Unfortunately, not many of us are currently working to develop the personal brand. Personal branding is everything from your online presence, your digital footprint, how you are positioned on LinkedIn, on Facebook, or even on Google, but also how you are perceived offline in the real world. The way you talk, the way you dress, the way others are perceiving you on a first meeting. That's all personal branding. Now, personal branding is relevant for individuals as much as for companies. Because if you think about companies, in fact, they are a group of individuals. And what individuals are talking about the company is how the company is perceived. So companies need to be very well aware of the personal branding that the individuals are using in talking about the company with others. And then obviously it's important for the individual because it relates to how you are perceived, what's your value, what's your communication externally, and ultimately what you stand for.
And what are some of the insights when we look into the changing work environment today?
Well, that's huge because in fact today I believe we are living a work revolution which is probably second only to the industrial revolution. You think about technology and the disruption that technology is bringing into the work environment. You think about the new skills that are needed or skills that currently don't exist but they are needed by companies. It all calls for a big change in how companies act and employees work into the corporate environment. In this specific moment, companies are reorganizing themselves. So many companies are laying off people and people find themselves without a job. So they need to take consciousness that, the job for life is probably a dream by now. And this calls for starting to own your own career development. So you need to be conscious on how you want to develop your skills, how do you expand your territory of influence, and ultimately, what do you stand for into the work environment, into a company or into your own business. And this is a process, a step-by-step process that the person can take to establish its own reputation and ultimately an area of expertise.
So how can we equip ourselves better to this ever-changing work environment, and what kind of impact does this have on the finance world?
Well, you can take the example from the finance world. Let's say that you work in a private banking. So as a person working into a private banking environment, what do you want people externally to associate your name with? How do you want to be perceived by your clients and potential clients that you're looking for? That is your personal branding. Now, how do you go building that? Usually the first step is defining what are your core values? What do you believe in? What's your purpose in life? And ultimately, what's your passion? Once you have defined this pretty big but consistent area of yourself, then you can start shaping your marketing plan, which is ultimately your branding plan, and defining how do you want to look online, how do you want to establish your territory of expertise, what type of presence do you want to have on LinkedIn, which is different from the one you want to have on Facebook, that is more of a personal platform, but also work on your public speaking, how do you relate with others, how do you dress. This all calls for consistency that you want to use time after time after time. The ultimate goal is being recognized as the expert in your area of influence, and this will affect how you are perceived into your current job, if you want to look for a new job, or ultimately if you want to completely change your career.
Thanks for joining us once again, Luigi.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Make sure to keep clicking back to Dukascopy TV for the latest updates. Goodbye for now.